WJBF, your home for memorable.
It's feeling like spring again with lots of sunshine in the forecast and temperatures warming all the way near 80 degrees tomorrow. And the warmth will continue all the way into next week, and we'll have some chances of rain and storms over the next several days. All those details are coming up.
Now at 10, cracking down on gun violence in Georgia. House state leaders want to use tax breaks to encourage safety. And a local organization is creating a space for the unhoused community so they will receive mail. We'll have that story as News at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, I'm Isabella Moody. Thank you for joining us. Coverage June Countdown begins with some Georgia lawmakers pushing for stricter gun laws. Atlanta Bureau Chief Archis Sadri has more.
State House lawmakers passed House Bill 79, which would establish a tax credit program for up to $300 per taxpayer for those who purchase firearm secure storage devices or complete a firearm safety course.
A lot of families, and women in particular, bought over half the firearms, the handguns, as recently as 2022. So because of that, we also want to make sure people are trained on how to properly handle a firearm, in particular if they didn't grow up hunting or with firearms in the family.
Eligible expenses include gun safes, trigger locks, cable locks, and it will be capped at $10 million annually for the state. State lawmakers say solving the gun battle is crucial to prevent things like school shootings.
It's really part of a multi-pronged effort to try to make sure our kids and our youth in particular are safe as we can make them, and that involves new programs with mental health and how to address mental health in children and youth, and when they transfer to different schools, that's one piece of it. Certainly we've prioritized strengthening the school entrances to protect the children.
But some Democrats say that's not enough, and they want a law that would require adults to lock up guns at home when their children are present to avoid accidental shootings.
It can decrease suicides. Some of the safes can decrease theft of guns, which is what happens with the gang activity. Another devastating group of them, though, is the 30% of firearm deaths under age 19 that are suicides. And any of us would be devastated to find out that ours or one of our family members or extended family or friends, firearms was used by a child, someone under 19, to end their life. So
this bill focuses on safe storage devices and states that each taxpayer can only receive the tax credit once in their lifetime. And if approved by Senate lawmakers and signed by Governor Kemp, this would run from 2026 through 2031. Reporting at the Georgia State Capitol, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
A review of City of Augusta's charter is one step closer to getting off the ground. A special called meeting this afternoon, commissioners approved committee members and gave the committee a year to get a review done. The charter has not been changed in 30 years. The committee will work with the University of Georgia to provide recommendations to commissioners about changes that should be made.
What we have is a charter that's been outdated. It's 30 years old. It's actually antique. There's new great ideas, new ways of doing things. You could actually have different forms of government. But the way we are held by our charter is held to back in 1986, which is kind of old.
The city has approved $320,000 for this charter review. Augusta city leaders are looking to curb the number of apartments in the downtown area. Today, they considered imposing a moratorium on future apartment construction in hopes of encouraging more single-family homes. Realtors say the increasing number of apartments hinders building single-family homes. The information on the apartment moratorium was accepted, but no action was taken. It's time now for a quick check of the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Tracci.
Well, it's a chilly night, but it was definitely a nice warm day, much warmer than yesterday. Temperatures climbed into the 70s, and we had lots of sunshine, and tonight remains clear. You're taking a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. Our almanac shows we had a freezing start to our Tuesday, 32 degrees at Augusta Busch Field, high of 75 though, so 5 degrees above average. Nowhere near the record of 88 set back in the 90s, but also nowhere near the record low of 25 set back in 1969. So the temperatures are warmer than last night by a whole 15 degrees in Edgefield, 18 degrees warmer in Evans. Our temperatures are currently sitting in the 50s, 55 in Augusta, 52 in Barnwell, Louisville 58, Miller Allen, you're at 56 degrees, Gibson at 57, and 58 in Edgefield. Dew points are sitting in the 30s and 40s, so we do have a lot of dry air in place. And on top of that, we have calm winds. So with the clear skies and calm winds, we will have optimal radiational cooling conditions tonight, which means it will be chilly despite the warm temperatures we had today. High pressure's in control. That's going to keep things nice and sunny tomorrow as well. Your morning looks good. Just bring a jacket with you when you're headed out to school and work, as temperatures will be dropping down to around 41 degrees. Looking ahead here, a great day tomorrow, but it's going to be feeling very warm in the afternoon, all the way close to 80. Dropping to 75 on Thursday with the chance of rain and storms, and then right back to 79 on Friday. I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up shortly, but back to you, Isabella.
Thank you, Jenna. New resources are available to members of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Augusta. Thanks to a partnership with Comcast, 75 laptops were donated to the organization today. The gift is part of Comcast's mission to help underserved families connect to the internet. Comcast also provided a free Wi-Fi live zone to help students participate in online learning.
Digital equity simply means that every child will have access to the internet. Every child will have access to the technology that they need to thrive in school, at home, and in life. So we want to make sure that every child has that access, and Boys and Girls Club is just happy to be a part of bridging that gap for so many kids and families in our community.
The Boys and Girls Club also got a $35,000 check to help with the project. New mailboxes will soon be available for some of the city's homeless population. I was able to speak to the organizers who say this could change the lives of many in our area.
Gap Ministries unveiling 50 mailboxes Tuesday by the city's homeless task force.
We want people to have the opportunity to legitimately hold themselves accountable and push themselves, get themselves to where they want to go.
If you are homeless and do not have an address, you are unable to get a state-issued ID. That makes it more difficult to do things like applying for SSI, SSDI, registering children for school, or receive test results from the doctor. The mailboxes will also help case managers working with the homeless or those in transition as a way to communicate with their clients.
If you ask folks what is holding them back, vital documents is one of the things that's holding people back. And we can't expect people to move forward when they remain stuck.
Lisa Ann Wheeler, who is a representative for the Department of Public Health, says this is a game changer for her clients.
It's a huge deal today. We actually have a mailbox to send information. Is it test results? Is it a next coming up appointment? Things like that. And we don't have that. We haven't had that accessibility. So this is life-changing for our clients.
Commissioner Jordan Johnson was also at the unveiling to support and recognize what this will do for the homeless in our area.
We are together in this effort to make sure that those who are experiencing poverty and experiencing just homelessness, as we know it, experience it very briefly and very rarely. This is an effort that has been ongoing, and I'm proud of the work that's being done.
Organizers at Gap Ministries say this is a stepping stone, and they hope to add more mailboxes in the future.
I'm looking at these mailboxes like they're caterpillars, and our goal is you have your mailbox, and this is going to help you grow your beautiful wings and fly.
Coming up, a new disease impacting strawberry crops in North Carolina. We'll have those details after Jenna's forecast.
And it's spring-like days ahead for us with highs in the 70s and even 80s later on this week, and also a pretty decent chance of storms this weekend. I'll have your full Wake for 6 forecast right after this break.
Morris Opticians Review. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. Clear skies tonight with dry conditions as we take a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam into North Augusta. A great Tuesday night, not too cold. We're sitting at 55, but you'll still need a jacket tomorrow morning as we'll be closer to the 40-degree mark. Winds are calm and the dew points are in the 40s, so we have all this dry air in place, but temperature is pretty consistent overall. We're sitting at 52 in Saluda, Aiken, and Barnwell. Bamberg, you're at 56, 58 in Louisville, and 57 in Wrightsville. Washington at 54. You can see all the orange here on our water vapor imagery. This is showing the dry air stretching all the way across the southeast. A stalled frontal boundary to the north of us, and that's where the clouds are located. And then we have this low pressure forming, so eventually we will see another low pressure system move in our direction on Thursday. Thursday, bringing increased clouds and a chance of rain. But tomorrow is pretty much a repeat of today. It just will be even warmer. Notice by the 2 o'clock hour, we're already expected to get to 75. Then right before the sun sets, we are going to approach the 79-degree mark. So not going to quite make it to 80, but definitely getting close. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., winds will be coming out of the west, nice and clear throughout the duration of your Wednesday. And then as we go through time, clouds will be here by Thursday morning, and it's going to be mostly dry throughout the majority of our day. But by the afternoon, we could see a few showers, and then with all the heating of the day, it's possible we could even get a few storms. Now, I do think this Futurecast model is a bit over dramatic with all the rain that we're seeing. Now, granted, a lot of this is to the south of us, but if we did see some rain, it would most likely be very isolated. We have a lot of dry air in place for that system to overcome, so that's going to help prevent a lot of widespread rain and long-lasting rain. But a completely different scenario this weekend. We'll have a higher chance of widespread rain and even some storms. This is a potential flood and severe threat from Saturday night into Sunday morning for not just us, but all across the deep south. Notice the area in orange here. That's a 30% probability of severe storms, and this is the day 5 outlook. So definitely something we'll have to watch, especially for our friends out towards Atlanta, down to Hattiesburg. For our neck of the woods, it's just a 15% probability, and this is once again for Saturday night. Now that does cover the entire CSRA on Sunday, and it's possible that this system could linger in the area, bringing widespread rain throughout the day on Sunday. Now, it's still too early to tell. We do have a couple models indicating rainfall totals up to around 2 to 3 inches in our area, but this particular model is showing the big swath of rainfall, mostly in Atlanta and up towards the north and west. Now, as for those temperatures, we're heating up to 82 ahead of that system, but behind that powerful cold front, we're dropping to 69 degrees next Monday. It is going to be a nice sunny St. Patrick's Day, and then next week we start to warm up as we approach the first day of spring. So that comes next Thursday, but all of this week it's already feeling like spring, and that's nice compared to how chilly it was yesterday.
Absolutely, and I feel like we both are giving a little bit of spring with the colors of our dresses.
I am excited for spring, Isabella. It's been too cold lately.
Thank you, Jenna. North Carolina strawberry farmers are worried about a new disease called NEOP that could affect their crops. Farmers say the fungal disease can be devastating as it can cause fruit rot. If there is wet weather, it can spread more quickly. The disease was first confirmed in North Carolina fields in 2022 and has affected some plant suppliers.
When we bought plants this year, at one nursery, they completely closed down in Canada. We had to go to California, and they warned us that it could have the disease. And most growers I've talked to does have some disease.
Farmers are hoping for warm and fairly dry weather to prevent the spread of the disease. They're also expecting this strawberry season to start a little bit late. Coming up, the latest on tariffs between the U.S. and Canada. We'll have more on that back and forth battle when we come back.
At the Axis One.
Baseball continues its undefeated season. Hear from head coach Jimmy Lewis on what it means to now have over 900 career wins in sports.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
The Masters tournament is just 4 weeks away, and 15-time major champion Tiger Woods announced he ruptured his Achilles but successfully underwent surgery. Woods suffered this injury while ramping up training and practice at home. He released a statement saying that he underwent a minimally invasive Achilles tendon repair at his surgery center in West Palm Beach, Florida. The surgery went smoothly, and he expects a full recovery. His status for the Masters tournament, though, unknown, but most likely will not play as it takes about 6 months to fully heal. NCAA tournament prep continues for the Augusta Jaguars as they began their first of 3 practices before leaving for Columbus on Thursday. The Jags will face off against first-time opponent Lenore Ryan out of Hickory, North Carolina in a win-or-go-home game. AU will hope to get some momentum back on their side in the tournament, though, after dropping their Peach Belt Conference quarterfinals game against North Georgia.
Our defense, we're changing up a little bit of what we used to do, and then, we have to execute better in stretches. We score a lot, but we got to get a lot of stops as well. You got to really, figure out and feel out your opponent. But I think, our scouts have been really good. We really go into detail about our players and who we're guarding.
Tip-off set for noon on Saturday at Columbus State. The Georgia Bulldogs return to the gridiron this afternoon, officially kicking off spring football
practice. The Dogs are coming off an 11-3 campaign, but have lost some key contributors from the 2024 season. That includes quarterback Carson Beck, who transferred to Miami. So the QB competition is one storyline, with Gunnar Stockton in the running to take the starting job. There will be 13 more practices until the annual G-Day scrimmage on April 12th, with Georgia's Pro Day Wednesday morning.
We've got new players coming in on both sides of the ball. We'll find out a lot about them this spring, but we do a very, very intensive study of not only ourselves, but other people. And when you go back and you watch everything you watch, you're taking into account who are you playing against. You know, like what is the caliber of the opponent you're up against.
In high school baseball, the Harlem Bulldogs squared off against the Cross Creek Razorbacks. Their undefeated season continues after picking up a 15-0 Mercy Rule win in 3 innings. And head coach Jimmy Lewis celebrated his 900th career win last month, and he doesn't plan on stopping there.
Well, right now we're at 9-12. We're at 9-12, so we're going to do our best to get to 9-13. That's what we're going to do. Whatever happens, happens. You know, God has blessed me with health, with being healthy. And God has blessed me with this job.
You can catch the rest of this story on our 6 Sports Saturday show at 9:30 a.m. The Augusta men's golf team wrapped up play in the Seminole Intercollegiate. They're tied for a 3rd place finish with North Alabama at 6 under par. That's their best showing all year. Florida State won in convincing fashion at 23 under, followed by Troy at 11 under. And then a new bill proposes dissolving the South Carolina High School League, creating a new state athletics association. Now, if it passes, it would bring significant changes to high school sports in South Carolina. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
The Giving Your Best Award salutes volunteers in the CSRA for going above and beyond in our community.
The Giving Your Best partners congratulate our latest winner, Cecilia Brown. Every fall, she honors her son with donation drives for the Children's Hospital of Georgia. She's also a volunteer for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Giving Your Best is brought to you by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6.
And last but not least, the Butler boys basketball team is state champions for the first time in almost 60 years.
They celebrated their big victory this afternoon.
Graham Lee was there.
The Butler Bulldogs have found much success on the court in recent years, but the one thing they've been so hungry for is a state championship. Now head coach Chaz Clark and the team are celebrating their first state crown since 1966. A packed gym at Butler High School giving thunderous applause for their state champions. For head coach Chaz Clark, he's been taking the last few days to look back.
Been thinking about a young kid, you know, raised in Augusta, Georgia, from Willis Road Elementary, Winter Spring Elementary, Seago Middle, then to Butler High School.
For Clark, it's the culmination of a long journey. In 2011, during his senior year at Butler, the Bulldogs reached what would be the first of 3 state championship appearances over the next 14 years. That year, they fell to Columbia.
Obviously, it was heartbreaking, but the last thing I felt after all the heartbreak was gone of what we can accomplish.
He was also on the sidelines 3 years ago as assistant coach when the Bulldogs fell in the title game to crosstown rival Westside. Adversity continued after losing to Toombs County in the semifinals last season in Clark's first year as head coach, but he credits his players for trusting the process.
All kudos to them, man, and understanding the importance of being something bigger than yourself. You know, if all those young men behind me don't buy into their role and buy into something bigger than themselves and a bigger cause, we don't get there.
Marcus Scurry is one of Clark's 4 outstanding seniors he's been coaching since his days on JV.
He's an excellent role model. He does everything right. He pushes us to all type of limits like crazy. So yeah, I really love him.
It's an amazing thing. We're gonna spare no expense to celebrate them guys, but it won't be the best thing they ever accomplished in their life. And I just hope they take this journey as evidence of what they accomplished if they're willing to put the work in.
With only 4 seniors on this year's team, the Bulldogs are set to have several returners come back for the 2026 season. Coach Clark says he and his team are already setting their sights on defending their long-awaited title. In Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, there were 5 teams that were vying for state crowns last week. 3 of them won, including Butler. So amazing story. First one since 1966, and first team ever to have consecutive Final Four appearances back to back.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, congrats to them. And I am also so excited about this weather this week. It's looking so good. We do have some chances of storms here and there, but a nice sunny day tomorrow. 79 degrees. Down to 75 on Thursday. Still warm. Just a 30% chance of a few storms. Dry on Friday, which happens to be Pi Day. Fun fact. And then over the weekend, more rain and storms. Really warm on Saturday. Slightly cooler on Sunday. St. Patrick's Day looks good. A lot going on this week. We also have the first day of spring going on next Thursday, even though it's feeling like spring already. And next week, it's staying warm, so looking good overall.
The news continues at the top of the hour on News Channel 6 at 11.
And Hogan's Heroes is next here on WTV.
Have a great night.